Hi guys, it's Carissa. I had an appointment today, so I've got an update for you. I had a little bit of a wrench thrown into things this morning. It was more just a surprise. And a lot of this is honestly my fault because I hadn't, for some reason, gotten this information or asked about it. But when I walked in, usually I pay my $45 copay and then I get my blood drawn, have my ultrasound, and then I leave. And today when I went in, I was told that I owed $500. She was like, oh, there's a note on your account to collect $500 from you. Very nonchalant, like she was asking me for $5 basically. And I was surprised, obviously if you walk in somewhere and you expect to give them $45 and they ask for $500, you're probably going to be surprised. And I just said, I'm really confused. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. And she said, oh, you didn't talk to the financial department. They were supposed to call you. So there was a disconnect somewhere and I didn't receive the information I needed for my payments. So she had me pay the $45 copay, and I went on with my appointment. And when I reached the financial department, when I got home, basically I learned that all of my monitoring for my cycle is $500. There's just a $500 flat fee for my appointments, which include my blood draw and ultrasounds. And then my IUI itself is $300, and that's due the day of the service. So the $45 copay I'd been paying, luckily my previous two appointments come out of that $500 balance. So I just had to pay the remainder, but I wasn't aware of that, and I didn't know, and it was strange to have paid the copay a couple of times and then suddenly be told, wait, you owe us this money instead. So my last specialist, I paid a $45 specialist copay and then the IUI separately. I was just billed for it after the service. So I have to admit, it's kind of nice to pay for it first because a lot of times by the time the bill came, I already knew it didn't work and it was just like a really sucky bill to pay. Like, oh, here's, $400 for no reason, basically. So I had a hard time with that at my old doctor. That's just how they did things. So here, it is a little bit more expensive for the monitoring. Depending on how many appointments I have, it works out to be a little bit more. But the IUI itself is about $100 less. So I don't know. It just kind of works out, I guess. I don't really care. I don't mind paying more, especially because I like this facility so much more. And I just, basically, now that I know and understand everything, I'm like, okay, that's good. But when I walked in to get my vitals taken, I told the nurse, I was like, my blood pressure is very likely to be elevated. It is anyway when I have to go to an appointment in the morning. It's at 7:30 in the morning. My appointment was today. So I have to, drive in the kind of crappy road conditions, make sure I'm on time. I want to make sure I'm on time. And I just get that appointment anxiety. And then, of course, the $500, I was like, my blood pressure is going to be elevated, just so you know. But she looked at my follicles, and my right ovary is usually a dud. Usually it's hard to find. It's like tucked under or behind my uterus. It's hard to find, and then by the time they crank that thing around and basically completely wreck my insides looking for it, they're like, oh, there's no follicles really. They're like an 8. So in my left ovary, I kind of joke that it's a show off because it's always right there, right at the top of the screen, and it has the bigger follicles. Well, today the right ovary had a 14, I believe, and the left ovary had an 11, and those were the only ones to really make note of. So I was surprised by that, and I have an appointment again on Friday. And my IUI will either be on Saturday or on Monday, depending on where I stand. So that's what's going on there. A couple of updates. One of my, I don't know if she's a subscriber or she just happened to watch my video, but I believe her name was Making My Life Green. Mentioned that my vitamin intake with my metformin would not be optimal because metformin prevents like proper absorption of vitamins. So that was really cool to hear. And I actually took my vitamins midday with the multivitamin and the cinnamon pills. Those cinnamon pills are so funny because after like 10 minutes after I take them, every time without fail, I will burp and it will taste like cinnamon. It's just such a funny little thing, in case you just needed to hear that. And so thank you very much for that. That was good information to get. And it's so much nicer to not have to take all those pills before bedtime. Okay, username was Turning My Life Green. I just looked it up. I was going to like put an annotation in, but I have those turned off, so nobody would have seen it. And if you do it too, you know, so thank you very much for that. Also, I forgot to mention that I purchased a big pack of OPKs on Amazon, and I did start those. So this was yesterday and today. I put them on a sheet of paper, and it's a little bit gross to tape something and handle something that has your urine on it to a piece of paper, but nobody really needs to know that but me and you guys. So I did that. And ever since I made that video, suddenly the thermometer doesn't bother me in the morning. It's like my tongue was like, all right, I hear ya. I'll work with you, and stopped feeling all gaggy when I put the thermometer in my mouth in the morning. So I've been able to get a temperature read the last couple of times I tried. So that was good. That was another good thing. And that's pretty much it. I'm kind of bummed out about my follicles, but I will take it, especially because my right one's performing when it normally doesn't. So I can be grateful for that, and we'll just see where we stand. And hopefully I will have some even better news for you in my next video. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.